Hi everyone, welcome to ZyNerd's first info guide for the NEET PG 2024. All of you would first feel a sense of relief now that the exams are over. We have been waiting for the exams right from March. It was postponed, then preponed, then again postponed. It has been a long 5-month wait since the exam was first scheduled in March. Now finally the exam is over with 2 shifts. Now the right thing to do is possibly at least take a few days off for yourself and then come back and start the preparation for the counseling. Usually we say that take a week or 2 weeks off, there will be enough time for the counseling. But this year, because of the timeline issue, because there is very less time for NMC and MCC to schedule the counselings might start a little early. So possibly take a few days off. Yes, definitely take a break and then come back. You would have time for preparation for the counseling, evaluation of institutes, getting your certificates ready, etc. We will be there to support you throughout the counseling process. We are ZyNerd. We actually are one of the best counseling support and guidance centers across India. We provide support right from the starting point of the counseling till the end of the counseling process. We guide you, help you out with information in the portal, webinars, videos, call, email support, and every info that you need during the counseling process shall be updated by us along with clarifications on rules and regulations. Today we will be looking at the normalization process. So this year we have had 2 shifts, right? One from morning 9 to 12:30 and another shift from 3:30 to 7. Now with these shifts in place, how does the entire scoring work? How does the entire ranking process work is what we are going to look at now. Note that this process is called normalization. This is an usual term used in many other examinations and is an accepted term worldwide. First thing we would like to tell you is this is part 1 of the series where we are explaining the process without taking any opinion, without getting you confused. This is how it will work and this is how it is going to work this year. Nobody can go back and change the fact that examination has happened in 2 shifts. That cannot change. Given that examination has happened in 2 shifts and highly unlikely that any change will happen beyond this, nobody is going to cancel the exams obviously just for the reason that it has happened in 2 shifts, because every examination which is 20 lakhs plus or 10 lakhs plus, many other examinations happen in 2 shifts like JEE or other examinations used to happen. So there is going to be no cancellation. Exams are in 2 shifts, justified or not justified, whether you are okay with it or not. From here on, it is going to be normalization and we will look at how normalization works. There are a lot of queries that you would have with respect to normalization. Why, what will be the impact of normalization, etc. We'll address that separately in part 2. This is part 1 where we explain the process of normalization for you to understand how normalization works. We will now look at normalization from this perspective. Now we know what a percentile is, correct? Percentile. Based on that, we will look at how normalization on a 2-shift examination happens. What is the approximate number of candidates attending? 2.28 lakhs as per NBE's intimation to district administration. This was a confidential information that was shared across. We have this number 2.28 lakhs. Usually there is a 8,000 to 10,000 number of candidates who don't participate. This is around 3 to 4%. If we calculate that, excluding absentees, we will have around 2.19 to 2.20 lakhs candidate participating. Last year this was around 2.05 lakhs. This is an additional competition. Doesn't matter for normalization. Don't get confused because it is additional competition. Competition increases every year, but performance also increases. Now we have a number saying around 2.2 lakhs are participating. That is the first thing that we need to remember as far as normalization is concerned. This might vary a little. Let us say it finally ends up at 2.15 or 2.23. That is something that NBE will accommodate. We will wait for that intimation when the results are published. 5 sections each. This is the exam pattern. 5 sections each of 40 questions. The section timings, at the end of the section timings, you will not be able to go back to the previous section which have closed. So basically 200 into 4 marks makes it a maximum of 800 marks that one can score. And in case everything is negative, obviously you will have a -1 and the minimum is -200 marks. You'd be surprised to see that a lot of candidates who score also below 0, definitely not -200, till around -40, -50 we have seen. Maybe below 0 is around 10 to 15 candidates, not more than that. That is basically not relevant, but when it comes to the normalization, we will discuss that. Now 800 marks is the maximum. One important thing to note here is, we are not sure how it happened at the time of making this video, but these sections by rule, at least by the prospectus and the later notification that came in, are not split specifically saying these are the subjects within these sections, like saying anatomy, physiology, etc. are in this section, and the other another set of 40 questions has 40 questions from general surgery, this, that, etc. So that split is not there, which means each section is not distinct. For example, in UG, you will have physics, chemistry, biology, botany, zoology as separate sections. We don't think we have such sections. Why are we coming to this? Because when there is a tie-breaking criteria at normalization, this might be a requirement. We will discuss that. So remember, maximum 800 marks, no section-specific questions are there. 800 questions are of the same value. There is no difference is what we take from this. Next, on the shifts. 2 shifts, 9 to 12:30, 3:30 to 7. Obviously, you know what is expected for proper normalization. This is something that NBE should have done. We assume that they would have done this. One, equal distribution of candidates in both shifts. Obviously, they would have done it. They would have tried a level best. Let us say finally 2.28 lakh candidates applied. In the morning shift, they would have taken 1.14 lakh candidates, and in the evening shift, they would have taken 1.14 lakh candidates. This is actually what they would have assigned under morning and evening shifts. But will the same number of candidates turn up? They will not turn up, correct? You can't say that in this 1.14 lakh, exactly 4,000 will be absent, and here too exactly 4,000 will be absent. There might be changes here, which will result in finally appeared numbers may not, the fact that finally appeared numbers may not be the same here and here. It might end up like, let us say there is 4,000 absent. 4,000 is a number based on around 3.5 to 4% that happened in 2023, absenteeism. Now let us say here there are 1,10,500 candidates, and here there are 1,09,500 candidates. Now this will sum up to still, let us say, around 2.2 lakhs, but the number of candidates may not be the same here and here. Not a 500 number deviation, this is a 1,000 number deviation, but there might be a 500, 200, 300 deviations between these two shifts. Exactly equal distribution of attendees NBE will not be able to do. No exam making authority will be able to do. So that makes a difference. This we will see in the context of questions that will later arise saying, my shift had more candidates, therefore I am not benefited. No, that is not right. We will look at why that claim may not be right, because the process also takes care of that. Now next is random distribution of candidates between shifts in the same center. Like in a center, if I am there, let us say morning in my center 1,000 people are attending, afternoon another 1,000 people are attending, both should possibly follow the same distribution, correct? Let us say the best 1,000 in the entire NEET PG 2024 2.28 lakh applicants attended the morning shifts, and the last 1,000 attended the afternoon shift. There is going to be a problem, because here somebody will be a topper, here somebody will be a topper. The topper will be from the list of candidates who are not average or below average. Here toppers will compete. That distribution, whether it happens or not, it is impossible for NBE to know which one is better, which one is not. But it is possible for NBE to put up a random distribution saying, I am not going by any of their marks or earlier marks, nothing. I do a random distribution. Morning there is 1,000 in Tamil Nadu in a particular center. There will be another 1,000 in Tamil Nadu in the same center in the afternoon. So that, let us say in Maharashtra, it doesn't happen that a better performing state. Let us say we take Kerala. It does not happen that everybody in Kerala participates in the morning shift, no evening shift. That should never happen, correct? So same goes with the center too. Some centers like Thrissur or somewhere where PG coaching is happening, everybody participates in the morning shift. Either they get an advantage or a disadvantage. That should not happen. So at center wise too, we assume that NBE would have done a random distribution and an equal distribution of candidates. That is also required. Okay, so these are two things that are very important. Third is the question papers. Question papers with similar distribution of questions across. Like anatomy, these many questions are there. Forensic medicine, these many questions are there. Will it be the same? Very difficult to manage. But they would try to manage is what every authority would mention. The difficulty level, they will try to manage it the same. Similar difficulty level, similar distribution of questions, same number of questions in each topic probably should be the try. At least NBE should have tried out for that. We would assume would have tried. But one very costly mistake they should not have made, like many claim which happened in INI-CET in the Jan 2023 exam. We are not sure whether this is right. We are not making this claim, but many had, we are not making this claim. Many had claimed in our Telegram group saying that in INI-CET, the morning shift had certain questions which was also repeated in the evening shift, which should never happen. That I am sure NBE would have taken care of. We would get to know by today or on the 11th evening whether that has happened. That repeat should not happen because the questions would be obviously shared. There is a 3-hour window, 2.5 hours window, at least a 1 hour window before the entry time, I guess. 1:30 was the entry time. So question papers can be exchanged. So NBE should have been careful that none of the questions are repeated. So these are some things which are expected from NBE for proper normalization. When we go into the process, we assume that this is all would have happened because we are going to explain you the process, thus not debate on whether it is right or not. That is a separate session. Now, this has one major thing where question paper difficulty level is very difficult to evaluate. Everybody will have a different opinion. So candidates who have taken the same question paper might have a different opinion even if it is happening in a single shift. So that is something that is a perspective as well. Normalization process, we will get you to the normalization process. We have spent some 10 minutes on this entire process. This is once in your career you are going to go through. So possibly another 30-40 minutes. Be with us. Go through the normalization process. First thing is, people think it is complicated. You will see messages in groups that it is complicated. It is not complicated. It is a very simple process. Only thing is you need to understand the formula behind it, logic behind it. Second, it is a transparent process, provided every candidate's mark is shared. Like this is shift 1, everybody's mark is shared, roll number is shared and rank is shared. Similarly, shift 2, everybody's mark, roll number, rank is shared. This is shared and this is right. We assume that this is right because even in a single shift examination, they do it right. That is what we assume. It is a computer-based test, they do it right. When this is shared, NBE is the only body which shares this, which we are happy to actually give credit to NBE on that. They share this entire information saying this is shift 1, this is shift 2, these are the numbers. We will be able to generate the entire rank list based on normalization. They are not going to goof up because if this is shared, everything is going to be normal. Except for this tiebreaker criteria where two candidates might have taken the same number of questions or same marks, then what happens within the same shift, then what happens is a different thing. But otherwise, we will know that there is no issue when this is shared. So the process is transparent. Somebody comes you and tells you that they have come up with a difficult process. We will show you the process. Difficult process that nobody is able to understand. They are trying to cheat us, etc. No, it is very transparent. Only thing is they have to put up this marks transparently, which they do every year. We expect that they will do it this year too. Now, normalization, we start the process. The first step of normalization is stage 1, listing out the raw scores. Out of 800, what is the raw score is what they list down. What is the raw score? Shift 1, I attended shift 1. In shift 1, out of 800, how many marks did I get? Right answers carry 4 marks, wrong answers carry -1 marks, total it up, you will get your marks. This is the usual process. Consider that it is a single exam process for shift 1 candidates alone without taking into consideration shift 2. Prepare the rank list like this. Put up the marks, put up the shift rank. This is very clear. There is no confusion in that. 725 was the first mark in shift 1. This is actually last year's rank we have taken for reference. But let us say in this year in shift 1, this is the first rank. 721, 2 candidates scored in shift 1. This is question paper 1, right? for shift 1 and so on. And the last mark was minus 40, 10,000 ranked candidates mark was 540, etc. Can two candidates take the same mark? Yes, two candidates can get the same mark. Here 673 and so on. You will be surprised to know that there was one data 1.220 last year where 1020 odd candidates had 220 marks. No, so that will happen. There will be a lot of ties within this 721, 721, 627, 627, 627 and so on. But we have put up an approximate range for you to refer over here. Now we will look at the second shift. Similarly, tabulate the second shift. Second shift would be a same tabulation. Consider it like a separate examination and tabulate it. First candidate who took up, who had marks was 705. Highest marks was 705. Second candidate was 699 and so on. At 1000th rank, somebody who had marks 605 was at 1000th rank. Now we do this from our viewpoint. Forget the normalization process. This is how it looks like. We need to normalize this. Basically, we have conducted the exam as 2 shifts. We have a problem. Which is better? 1 shift exam is better. Everybody agrees to it. We also agree to it. Always better. But 2 shifts has happened. Now, how do I normalize this is the question. First problem I have is here I have 1,10,500 candidates. Here I have 1,09,500 candidates. Why did this happen? Because NBE might allot same numbers, but absenteeism it cannot control. When somebody is absent, their marks cannot be taken. So the numbers will vary. May not be 1000, but slightly vary between shifts. Second problem is here it is question paper 1. Here it is question paper 2. Marks, you see, at rank 1, the marks was 725. At rank 100, the marks was 673 here. Here it is 705 and 655 respectively, which means top 100th candidate was able to score only 655 marks. Here top 100th candidate was able to score 673. Does that mean this set had candidates who were of average or lower performance levels or they did not prepare well? No. This is a distribution of 1,09,500. It is very difficult to distribute it saying that everybody in the top 100 better candidates move on to this. No, not necessarily. It has to do with the question paper. That is why in the entire normalization process document 2, in any examination, they would put up a clause at least saying that the normalization process, because of a difficulty levels, because there is an issue, we do a normalization process. Because the difficulty levels vary and the entire list of candidates, the bias in terms of some candidates who are better being in one of the shifts will be very, very minimal when it goes to a very large number like 2 lakhs. If it is 10 candidates, yes, there is a possibility of some better candidates moving on to one shift, but here it is minimal. 0, if you ask us whether it will be 0, whether it will be 100, 10%, 20%, and you put us on a spot saying, can you assure me that everybody 50-50 would happen here, exactly the candidates distribution is the same? We will say no. But can you do something about it? No, we can't do anything about it. We should assume that it is the same, because at a large level, that is how it works. It is very difficult and there is no other way out. And now, given that we are saying this is question paper 1, question paper 2, and we are saying that this paper is a little difficult, we get into the entire process of normalization. The numbers are different, the paper is difficult. Now we get into the process of normalization. Here we should understand that this person was rank 1 and this person is also rank 1. My primary concern is who is now rank 1 across India, correct? Both of them are rank 1. We start with the process. The next step is we have tabulated. We start with shift 1 as the first part of the process, knowing that this is the participation number and the total numbers are 2,20,000, and we have listed down every candidate. Why we have put in hyphens over here is that between 719 and 673 there are a lot of ranks, and so that gap is filled by the hyphen. It is not like nobody is there. That gap is just represented by hyphen over here. Now we start with the normalization process. For the normalization, we will start with putting up the percentile scores. We already saw the percentile scores, correct? For a 10 candidate exam, we saw the percentile scores. It was 190, etc. Similarly, for a 1,10,500 candidate exam, we would want to start putting up the percentile scores. That is where we will start. How do you look at the percentile scores? For this candidate, the number of candidates who are less than or equal to, correct? Number of candidates who are less than or equal to this particular candidate divided by the total number will give you the percentage of candidates who are less than or equal to this candidate. What percentage of candidates will be less than or equal to first ranker? Everybody, right? So it should be 100%, right? So taking it as a formula, how do you derive that? The number of candidates who scored less than or equal to 725 by total number of candidates for rank 1 in shift 1. We are not looking at shift 2. Shift 2 will be later. We are preparing this only for shift 1. How many candidates are less than or equal to 1,10,500 are less than or equal to rank 725. So we have 1,10,500 divided by total number of candidates. That is also 1,10,500 for this candidate. Like we correctly already know, it is 100 percentile for the first candidate. So we put up 100 percentile over here. Now we move on to the second candidate. Now how many are there in the second spot? 2 of them are there. Doesn't matter. Let it be 10 of them who have scored 721. What we are going to do is, we are going to look at the number of candidates who are less than or equal to 721. Less than or equal to 721 out of 1,10,500. How many are less than or equal to 721? This person is less than or equal to, this person is less than or equal to, everybody is less than or equal to except 725. So it will be 1,10,500 minus 1, which is basically except for this candidate, everybody is less than or equal to 721. So the percentile score is 1,10,499 by 1,10,500. That will give you your percentile score, which is 99.9900 and 999,0950. This is taken up to 7 decimals, so that even a minor change between this and this is accommodated for. 720 will also be another 99.999 something something. If you take it up to 2 decimals, all of them will have the same percentile score. So it is taken up to 7 decimals to ensure that between 2 candidates it is very clearly distinguished. But here these 2 candidates have the same percentile, because how many are less than or equal to this third candidate who is 729 or below? This candidate is also included. So everybody is included. He also gets the same score. Obviously he has to get the same score, but they are tied with the same percentile score. We move on to the next candidate. Now who is the next candidate? 720. He is rank 4 in this shift. 1, 2, 3 will be between these 2. He is rank 4 in this shift. Now how many candidates are less than or equal to this candidate except for this 3, correct? So it is 1,10,500 minus 3, 1,10,497 by 1,10,500. That will give you 99.97%. And so on. If you move, then you will get the complete number. Exactly when you come to 55,250 rank, 250 candidates below you, you will get what percentile? 50th percentile. This might be any mark over here somewhere. 280, 290. It might vary within this shift. But that is how you get your 50th percentile. Now we have plotted it for every candidate. Like for example, 5th candidate, it will be 110,496 because only these 4 are above, the rest are below. By this, that is equal to, it should be, it should not be 100 percentile. It is 99 point, this is wrong. This is 99.9963801 percentile. And then you have the next candidate, which is the 100th candidate. If this person is the 100th ranker, 99 are above them. So how many are below them? 1,10,500 minus 99, which is 1,10,401 candidates are completely below them, including this candidate. Equal to or less than. That by 10,500 gives you 99.91. You plot it continuously like that for everyone. Same formula, and you get the final percentiles for everyone. For the last candidate, we did it for the last candidate. Remember the candidate who was ranked 10th there, 120 marks candidate earlier. He was at 10 percentile. Here, this candidate has one person, which is he or she, himself or herself. That person alone lower than or equal to him. So 1 by 1,10,500 into 100 is the person's percentile, which is 0.0009. And this is the last percentile. Below that there is no one, and this is the last percentile. So you plot everyone. How many people are here? 1,10,500. Everybody you plot for shift 1 and create the percentile scores. This table is done. Here 719 onwards, this is a gap to say that 719 to 673, there are a lot of numbers. Will 673 be one person? Maybe 10 different people. 673, 673 and so on. 101 onwards, maybe another till 110, you will have to map. You don't know who is going to be higher in the tie break. But everybody will get this same percentile, correct? That we discussed over here when in the slide part. So based on the numbers, there will be multiple people with the same percentile because they have scored the same marks. But below that, there will be a lower percentile if that is 1 mark lesser. That is completely plotted. Now this is done for shift 1, completed. Now we move to shift 2. Shift 1 is done. We should clearly move to shift 2 now. We are doing this separately. Consider that as one exam, this as another exam. We are doing this separately for another exam. Formula, same formula, no difference, right? 705 is rank 1. Only difference is here you have 1,09,500 candidates attending. So what is the base for percentile calculation? Total number of candidates becomes 1,09,500. This is a difference with the earlier one. Remember that there will be a difference because exactly same number of candidates will not appear. If it happens 1 out of 10,000 chance, then it is good because questions will be less, but it might not happen. Then 1,09,500 will appear. Not because NBE did not do it, because of absenteeism, they cannot account for absenteeism. Now we go to this formula. First candidate, obviously this will be 100 percentile. By now we should clearly know how is this calculated. 1,09,500 candidates are below 705. Therefore, out of total you have 100 percentile for first ranker. That we clearly know. This candidate's mark is 705. But still, the earlier person was 725 in shift 1. This mark is 705. This person is also at 100 percentile. Why? Within the set of questions, which possibly had a different difficulty level, the topper could score only 705 and that topper is 100 percentile in the exam. Exactly same scenario in the earlier one. Now when you come out of the exam, if you are this topper, would you want a second rank just because somebody else scored 725? Obviously you wouldn't want. Because you are this topper, with the difficult question paper, you have gone ahead and got this marks. Just because that person got a slightly comparatively easier question paper, he should not be given 1, or you should not go below who? All these candidates. It should not happen. You in your exam have scored high. That is how you would feel, right? You can be at any part here. But you shouldn't be compared with the other question paper which is less difficult and easier to attempt. You should be compared within your set. That is what you would want. But you will see a lot of candidates who come back after the results and say that normalization has resulted in an issue. This is what normalization is, because within your set you are first mapped, and that is fair as well, and that is the only thing that is possible now too. So second, how do you start with the second candidate? Obviously we know the formula very well now. 109, 499 are higher or equal to this particular 699 candidate, second rank candidate within that shift, and the percentile is 99.9990868. Similarly for the third candidate, again the formula is 109,498. Two of them are not there among 4,9,500. So 109,498 by 109,500, that comes to this score. 109,497 excluding these three comes to this score. 109,496 excluding this 4, everybody is 109,496. That is this person's score. So that is how the percentile is calculated. Same is calculated for every point. You can just check the numbers to exact number of candidates above or below this particular 655 marks, including everybody at 655. That is this number, and so on it is calculated. Now note that same formula is also applicable for this particular candidate, which is the last candidate for whom percentile score is 1 out of 109,500. He has only one candidate equal to or lesser than him here. So it is the person himself. So here your percentile score is 1 out of 109,500. But earlier the last person's percentile was 1 out of 1,10,500 because higher number of candidates participated. Here it is 1 out of 109,500. This, when you compare one shift, for that shift it is the right percentage, for this shift it is the right percentage. Correct calculation, no issues, right? For this shift, this is the right percentile. This is the person who has got 100 percentile of candidates, 100 percentage of candidates at his rank or below his rank. No doubt. Somebody who is at 50 will clearly have 50 percentage of candidates above them and 50 percentage of candidates below them. So basically somebody at 40 percentile here will have 40 percentile of candidates below them. That does not change. That is a very clear marking for both the shifts. Now we move on to, we have completed shift 1 and shift 2. Now we move on to all percentiles calculated for all candidates and how do you get the combined rank. Okay, how do you get the combined rank of both is where we will be, what we will be looking at. Now we have plotted the percentiles here. Here too we have plotted the percentile. Now the first question is I have to give someone rank 1, correct? Obviously it is by rank. You have to give a rank for a person. Rank 1, rank 2 and so on it should be given because both of them being rank 1 does not serve the purpose. They will compete for one MAMC dermatology seat and both of them will, obviously it is going to end up in a problem. At every rank level this will happen. We already said last year at 220 marks with a single shift examination, 1000 people were at the same rank and on an average 278 people last year at the same rank. So obviously you have to rank them using a criteria. First, how do we map both these together? Shift 1 is there, shift 2 is there. How do I map both of them together? That is how by these percentiles which we have already calculated come to our help. We are saying the premise behind normalization is if somebody has taken a question paper and 50% or above them, the question paper's reliability and validity is right. That is an assumption that we have to make. Then if the same person takes a different question paper with the same set of people or a similar set of people, then the validity, he will also come at 50 percentile is the assumption. That is the assumption behind normalization. So if this person topped over here with 100 percentile, then the person, if they had taken this question paper, they might also have topped here is the assumption. Okay, so that is the assumption that we go behind, saying that if 100% of students are below me, this is the percentage of students below me, that is the percentile criteria. If 100 percentile or same 100 percentage students are below me, then map me along with the same person who has 100% students below me in the other exam. Sounds fair? We will come to another, we will put you through another possibility. 725 is rank 1, 721 is rank 2, 3, 720 is rank 4, rank 5, and then after a long list of till 705, you have 705 at rank 58. Is that right? Not fair. So the better option is this, and this is the option that is going to be followed irrespective of how many complaints that come up. This is how the process is. On those complaints, we call them queries. Not complaints, queries, because we are not clear about the process. That we will discuss in a second session. Now, how do I map it first? Combine percentages I want to put. This is stage 3 of the process. Before that, we will just explain this part to you. There will be queries on rank 10,000 here at 90.95111 percentile because we took up all those candidates below them, which was based on 1,10,500. Similarly, here rank 10,000 is at 90.868 percentile. It is different. 10,000 only, but it is different. Here you have 1,09,500 candidates. Now this person will have a problem. I am ranked 10,000, but my percentile is slightly lower. This person is ranked 10,000, but his percentile is slightly higher. Correct? 90.86. Here 90.95. This person is also ranked 10,000. I am also ranked 10,000. The percentile is slightly higher. He gets an advantage is what we would feel. Now we can explain. We would explain saying, see, there are 1,10,500 candidates here. You participated with 1,09,500 candidates. So that is why there is a difference. We can explain. The next question that comes up will be, but what issue did I have? I am ranked 10,000. I participated and competed and took the top within the top rank 10,000. I was able to get 10,000 rank. Why should I be punished because lesser candidates participated? The actual answer to the query lies in the same question itself. It is because in case 1000 additional candidates had participated over here, and let us say today you are asking why, we are putting in another 1000 additional candidates so that you have the answer to that. Your rank will move from 10,000 to something down, and that might possibly be still at a lower range, not 90.95, but at a lower range, and that lower range is this. Hope this is very clear. So instead of getting 90.5, if you had participated here, you participated with lesser candidates. If they haven't been added, you might have still come down. That 1000 benefit you have already got, and that is accommodated in this percentile. Hope this is also clear, which means percentile gives us a very fair representation of where you stand with respect to this particular set, and possibly helps us mapping. Is it exactly perfect? No, but we will see how this mapping happens. The first mapping happens by taking in all the top percentiles and finding out whichever is bigger and getting them ranked accordingly. We are using this as the basis for ranking. Which one? This shift one as basis for ranking. We are trying to get these people in the right positions. That is what we are going to do. First rank, we have 100 percentile, and the second person is 99.99. Above that, we have a person over here, candidate ranked 1 in shift 2, who is at 100 percentile. I am moving this person, him or her, over here, and this is the shift rank. Ignore this till the end of this entire process. Whenever it says ignore this, when we are combining, we have not yet put the rank, but ignore this for the time being. We will put the rank later. But I am moving him to the right position. This ranker 1 has gone into the right position. Now we have two people with 100 percentile. Even though their marks are different, both of them are at the top of my ranks because they have scored the best in their respective examinations, which are of possibly different difficulty level. Then we have the third. Now all these which are green, when they come over here, will also be represented over green. From shift 2, when you see a green colored record over here, that means that is from the shift 2. Now, what is the next step to do? Obviously, now it is to put up the next person, where that person should fit in. This person is at 99.9990868. Where does the person fit in? Below this. 0868 below this. And 9990868. The person fits in somewhere here. So, I move him in terms of percentile to this place, which is where 699 has moved, and this person is rank 2 within this shift. Ignore this, we said. As of now, this is the order. Next, I move 696 from here, 99.981735, and I move him to this particular position, which is again above this. Even it is not alternate. Don't think it is alternate. First one is from here, second one is from here. It is percentile based. So this person moves over here, one above this rank 4 because he is at a higher percentile. He has had higher percentile of candidates above this, below this particular rank than this person at rank 4 in shift 1. So basically, because rank 3 here had higher percentile of candidates, same as or below that particular mark that he has scored, he is moving on to this position above rank 4. So you will see him placed over here. Similarly, 695 moves in one level below because it is below that rank. And then you see 695. So and so on, you continue till the end. So all you need to do is get this percentile marks. Where does it fit in? You can fit in over here. Now you get the entire percentile wise sorted list. You can do this till the 10,500 candidate. Where will the last candidate go? 009132. The candidate will go just above this particular, above this particular person who is the last rank. 9132. The candidate will go just above this particular person. So there we have the complete list of candidates who have been mapped over here. Between these two, there might be people, and so this is how the mapping happens one by one till the last rank of that shift. They are taken out and placed over here based on the percentile scores. Somebody who scored 50 percentile here and 50 percentile here, we are assuming that they are of the same performance level because we have conducted two exams. 50 percentile are at the same level, which means half of them are above you, then half of them are below you or same as you. Here half of them are below you and same as you. Then both the candidates in both the shifts, we are mapping them together in a bucket. Everything below them, everyone below them at a lower rank, and everyone above them at a higher rank. So that is how it happens exactly. So here now we finalize everything. How many candidates will be there? 2,20,000 candidates will be there. These are their respective shift ranks, but we are going to ignore them. Total 2,20,000 are there. Already there were 1,10,500, another 1,09,500 came in from there, took their positions, correct? In order. Now we are going to do the final thing, which is basically the final rank. How do I put up the final rank? Here I just go in. These persons are tied. For what? Rank 1 or 2, they are tied. These persons are tied for rank 1 or 2, 3 or 4. And this person is a clear 5th, no doubt. Are they tied? No. This person is a clear 6th, 7th, 8th, and wherever there is a tie, we will map that there is a tie. So here there are 2 ties, correct? For rank 1. Note that these 2 people came in from 2 lists. First one is shift 1, second one is shift 2, correct? Both of them came in from 2 different lists. But these 2 721s were in shift 1 only. They scored the same mark within the list. So that ties can happen. One, percentile based ties within different lists. Second, within the same list, there might be same mark candidates. So both ties we will have to resolve. We get this sequence in order. Final rank is given very clearly. Last candidate will be 2,20,000. First candidate onwards, this is by percentile scores. One might be a shift 1 score, another might be a shift 2 score, but it is percentile, and we have agreed that that is how normalization happens. Now tie happens. How does the tie happen? 1, 2, tie happens. 100 percentile, these are from different shifts. See, both of them are different marks. Now we have to resolve the tie. Similarly, same marks within the same shift, both of them from shift 1. This is shift 1, this is shift 2. So both ties are there. We will see how NBE will try to resolve it. Here marks are no longer relevant. I am not sorting by marks. Marks, when it comes to that, how NBE is going to give a different mark for this candidate, somewhere in between are they going to give, that we will have to decide. We will have to check and figure out. Usually there is a formula where they would give a mark based on the percentile difference between 2 and assume that I am taking the shift 1 order and I am giving him a mark saying 725 is the equivalent or something like that. That doesn't matter at all. Anyways, this person is going to be rank 1 or 2. Between them only they are going to share rank 1 or 2. Whether you give higher marks or not, it is not relevant except in one case, which we will discuss in the second session. Now we are looking at how this exactly happened, and then we will go into the tie break. See, what has actually happened is, if you don't even understand anything, 725 was rank 1 here, almost like rank 1 here has moved on over here. And then because it is a 2-shift examination with similar number of candidates, this happens. And then you had these 2 candidates at what? 3 and 4. And then somebody from over here moved at 5 and 6. That is what has actually happened. If you look at it, 725 was rank 1, 701, one person from here moved, and then 721s were 3 and 4, and one person from here moved, and another person moved because already 2 are there, and then 699, 696 moved, and so on. It happens in order. So this is how it actually works, except that at certain areas the percentage related changes are there. So basically, if you are still a lot confused, you can approximately, not necessarily exactly perfectly, but approximately say that one person from here, one person from here, and then so on. It happens in parallel, except that in certain places 2 or 3 people will move out here. That is because of the change in the numbers. If you still don't understand, then go with this formula. Everything is right. Either ways, if you understand, that is fine. Now we are going into the tie part. This is how it is. Tie part. Now first tied 2, both of them are rank 1 and 2. Sections are not exclusive. You would see in the normalization document that it would mention physics, chemistry, biology, and something GK, etc. So first biology percentiles will be taken, then physics, chemistry percentiles will be taken internally, etc. Forget that, because currently we don't have 5. We have 5 sections, but we don't have specific exam questions possibly within that section. So if NBE comes up with that formula later, we will look at it, but otherwise currently sections are not going to give you a definition. The actual tiebreaker criteria is given in prospectus, what is the criteria? Candidates occur the same score, then the merit position is determined by this. But here we have a scenario where candidates have got the same percentile score. How we are going to break the tie, we are not sure. There should be a methodology over here for those candidates who have got the same percentile. It will definitely not depend upon the mark, because there will be obviously a claim saying that this was an easy question paper or a difficult question paper, therefore I lost, etc. That will not be the tie-break criteria. It possibly has to do with total number of correct maximum responses, etc. Negative responses. This is what was given already. The problem here is an easy question paper will have larger correct responses, but percentile will be the same. So you can't give that credit to. So whether they are going to take this is also another issue. Possibly they will go with older candidate as the first tiebreaker criteria and MBBS percentage marks as the second tiebreaker criteria as given in the prospectus. This is possibly a little tricky because some question paper is very easy, somebody will get more correct responses. But we are still mapping them, saying percentile only we are mapping. Both of them are equal even if you don't get same correct responses, even if you don't get the same marks. This will work in a single shift tiebreaker criteria, but may not work in such a percentile based normalization process. So older candidate possibly, and this is where we are looking at tie-breaking criteria. One, without creating any panic on the tiebreaker criteria, etc. We already said that around 247 candidates on an average, 278 candidates on an average are there in each tie-breaking, in each marks last year. But this year it might be very, very less, given that this numbers may actually turn out to be very few percentiles will be common. It will be because the numbers are going to be different across different sessions. The percentile till the 7th decimal will not be common, except in possibly 10th percentile, 25th percentile, 50th percentile, etc., where there will be commonalities. Even in that case, 100, 200 mark at a range of, let us say, 10,000 rank, 20,000 rank, rarely creates an issue, and therefore tie break may not be a big issue that we need to handle over here. It may not be a big impact, huge impact, possibly very few will have an impact, which already is there last year too. Anyways, based on larger number of questions or correct responses, there is a tie break, somebody will have an impact. This year that impact will only be lesser is what we feel, because the percentiles are arranged accordingly with the base numbers being different. So that is how the entire process works. So based on tiebreaker criteria, let us say we are putting this person as rank 1, rank 2, and here rank 3, rank 4. This person is older, we assume. Earlier, who was on the top of the record? 705 and 725. We said both are tied for 1. Now, because this is an older person, possibly this will happen. We are not saying that the criteria will be older person first, but that is what is given. We don't know how they will take it. We will have to wait for that intimation. Doesn't matter. Usually, except for this top or certain ranges, it will not impact. Now, this completely is the new rank list. Now, this is how it will come up. Marks are not relevant anymore, but still, if you want to put up marks, then a raw equivalent score, an equivalent score has to be given, equivalent to the raw score has to be given. So usually what they do is, if this is 100 percentile, this person gets 725 as the same score. If they are deciding to take shift 1 as the base, then 725 is the base. So this person who is at 100 percentile will also be 721. And for this person, we have to give a mark. He was from shift 2, right? So in that scenario, you will adjust him somewhere between 721 and 696. That is how it works. You cannot take the 727 and the next person who is in that rank, 99.72. So these two are from the same shift, right? Shift 1, shift 1. These two have somehow got in between shift 721 and 720. So they will be marked somewhere around 720.5 or something. There is a formula for that. It is also very clear. If we get the raw scores modified, then that is how it will be. It will be based on a single shift. You don't need to worry about it. The reason why we are saying that is also because there are certain, with basis this raw scores, this exact score and this exact score, somebody can't go to the state counseling. Certain counselings which give an incentive for service category candidates, etc. There this will become an issue. Hope NBE has thought through that and would provide a revised marks based on one single shift. That doesn't matter anyways. For the rest of the candidates other than service candidates, this rank is what matters. Whether this score tomorrow becomes 720 or 715 doesn't matter. This candidate is rank 5, they will get their seat only after 1, 2, 3, 4, unless you are a service candidate for whom there might be some accommodation. So finally, when everything comes up, like we always say, don't go for marks, go with ranks. Ranks are the final. It might take some time this year to publish the results. Wait for the results. Hope we have explained this in full. You can also look at a second part where we explain in detail what are the queries and how we what are the queries, what will happen in terms of complaints. Many candidates will create an issue based out of this. We'll try to explain that. It is your right to create an issue, ask questions, but understand the entire thing and then ask questions, and also think about, now that two shift exam has happened, what is the best possible method? Is there something better than this that you can suggest? If you can't, and if you know that every examination is following this, we will have to let go of the fact that we are unfortunate that we sat in a two shift examination. It could have been better in a single shift examination, no doubt. But given that this is the status we are in today, let us at least accept this and move forward. If you don't also, you can just raise queries. We'll try our level best to answer those queries. We're not supporting NBE or anything. We're trying to let you know that tomorrow, even if this is taken up in any court or anything, this is going to stand because it is also there for JEE. It has happened for multiple examinations. This is universal. Thanks a lot for watching.